Hello everyone. In this segment, we are going to discuss about the nature and process of creative thinking. All of you know that creative thinking is a type of thinking that is basically related to the production of novel and new ideas. Now the question arises: all the thinking are whether creative or not, and what type of thinking are generally known as creative, and what are the important processes of it, and whether it is same as everyday creativity or not. Okay, so these are some important questions that comes to our mind, and so we all know that there are countless others whose creativity has led to the present day scientific and technological progress that we now enjoy. Now music, painting, poetry, and other forms of art that give us pleasure and joy are all products of creative thinking. Okay, so it is actually important to remember that creative thinking is not always expressed in extraordinary work. Okay, one does not have to be a scientist or an artist or to be a creative thinker. So everyone has the potential to be creative. And এইখিনি কথাই আমি সেকশনটো একচুৱেলি ভালকৈ ডিছকাছ কৰিম. Okay, so creative thinking actually can be applied in almost any area of human activity at different levels. It could be reflected in activities like writing, then teaching, cooking, then storytelling, dialogues, asking questions, playing games, trying to solve problems, organizing activities, and also helping others resolve conflicts and so on. So this concept of everyday creativity, actually it is reflected in one's way of perceiving thinking and problem solving, and it is different from the special talent creativity. Okay, and all these are seen in outstanding creative achievements. So here I to clear kora bhal je special talent creativity is different from everyday creativity. Okay, so everyday creativity is reflected in one's way of perceiving thinking and problem solving, and special talent creativity is seen in outstanding creative achievements. Now what is creative thinking? What is the nature of it? Okay, so creative thinking actually involves the production of novel and original ideas, or the solutions to problems. Now sometimes creative thinking is understood just as a new way of thinking or thinking differently. Okay, so however, it is important to know that besides novelty, because newness is one important feature of creative thinking, but originality is also one important characteristic of it. So every year, new models of household appliances, tape recorders, cars, scooters, television sets produced may not be original unless unique features are added to these products. Okay, so creative thinking thus refers to originality and uniqueness of ideas or solutions that did not previously exist. So it is also generally characterized by Brunner calls effective surprise. If the product or idea is unusual, the response of most who experience it is one of instant surprise or of being startled. Okay, তাৰমানে যিটো বস্তু আগতে কোনেও কৰা নাই, প্ৰডিউচ কৰা নাই, যিটো দেখি পেলাই মানুহে কি কৰিছে, মানে ছাৰপ্ৰাইজ হৈ গৈছে, বিকজ দ্য আইডিয়া ইজ অৰ দ্য প্ৰডাক্ট ইজ আনইউজুৱেল, আৰু সেইকাৰণে ব্ৰুনাৰে ইয়াক কি বুলি কৈছে, ইফেক্টিভ ছাৰপ্ৰাইজ বুলি কৈছে. So another important criteria that characterizes creative thinking is its appropriateness in a particular context. তাৰমানে creative thinking to ki hoy, it should be appropriate to the context. Jodi appropriateness to nathake, then it is not considered as creative thinking. Simply thinking of being different without any purpose, doing things in one's own ways, being non-conformist, indulging in fantasy without any purpose, or coming out with a bizarre idea is at times mistaken for creative thinking, but actually these are not creative thinking. So researchers tend to agree that thinking is said to be creative when it is reality oriented, appropriate, constructive, and socially desirable. Okay, so these are the most important characteristic of creative thinking. That means the thinking that should be generally considered as creative thinking are socially desirable, they are constructive, they are appropriate, and also they are reality oriented. Now, one popular psychologist known as J.P. Guilford, he is known as the pioneer in creativity research. He proposed that there are two types of thinking. One is convergent thinking, other one is divergent thinking. Now, convergent thinking actually refers to the thinking that is required to solve problems which have only one correct answer. Okay, so the mind converges to the correct solution. There is only one answer to the problem or the question. like 2 plus 2 is always 4, and again 3 6 9, what will be the next? A question to answer hodai 12 hobo. There is only one answer to this question. Okay, so this type of problems are generally solved by using convergent thinking, because there is only one solution to the problem or one answer to the problem. But divergent thinking is an open-ended thinking where the individual can think of different answers to the questions or problems in terms of his or her experiences. Okay, so there are several questions or problems, and to answer these questions actually we require divergent thinking, which is an open-ended thinking, and where the individual can think of different answers to the questions or problems in terms of his or her experiences. Okay, such kind of thinking helps in producing novel and original ideas. So we important hoise ami janibo lagibo je creative thinker hodai creative thinking ot ki kore divergent as well as convergent thinking use kore. First of all, he or she uses divergent thinking so that he or she can produce several ideas to the problem. Okay, and after that he will select one answer to the problem. So the question arises now, what are the important abilities related to divergent thinking? So divergent thinking abilities generally include fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. Okay, now what is fluency? It is the ability to produce many ideas for a given task or a problem. The more ideas a person produces, the higher his fluency ability. Okay, jimane teo ideas produce kori thakibo himane tor fluency to barhibo. For example, more the number of uses of a paper cup, more would be the fluency. Jiman bar use koribo himane tor fluency barhibo. So this is one important ability. Second is known as the flexibility. It indicates variety in thinking. It may be thinking of different uses of an object, or different interpretation of a picture, story, or different ways of solving a problem. In case of uses of a paper cup, for example, one may give an idea to use it as a container or to draw a circle, etc. তাৰমানে আমি বেলেগ বেলেগ কামত এপ্লাই কৰিছো, ইউজ কৰিছো, গতিকে বেলেগ বেলেগ ways that আমি problem to solve কৰিব try কৰাটো হৈছে কি flexibility. That is another important ability of divergent thinking. Then third is known as the originality. It is the ability to produce ideas that are rare or unusual by seeing new relationships, combining old ideas with the new ones, looking at things from different perspectives, etc. তাৰমানে কি আমি নতুন আইডিয়াটো প্ৰডিউস কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমি পুৰণা আইডিয়াজৰ হেল্প লৈছো, আৰু সেই কাৰণে আমি এটা unusual বা different idea আমি কি কৰিব পাৰিছো প্ৰডিউস কৰিব পাৰিছো. So this is known as the originality. Research has shown that fluency and flexibility are the necessary conditions for originality also. The more and varied ideas one produces, the greater the likelihood of original ideas. Then fourth is known as elaboration. It is the ability that enables a person to go into details and work out implications of new ideas. Okay, so these are the four important abilities related to divergent thinking. Now, divergent thinking abilities facilitate generation of a variety of ideas which may not be seem to be related. For example, what are the common ideas for enhancing food production? The likely answers would be related to quality of seeds, fertilizers, irrigation, and so on. If someone thinks of cultivation in a desert or extracting protein from weeds, it would be a remote idea. The association here is between food production and desert or weeds. Originally, we do not associate this together, but if we let our mind free to seek new and remote associations, a number of combination of ideas may arise, out of which one or two may turn out to be original. Okay, so আমি হদাই এটো কথা মনত ৰাখিব লাগিব যে we need both convergent and divergent thinking to produce some new ideas or unique or different ideas. So convergent and divergent thinking are important for creative thinking. Divergent thinking is essential in generating a wide range of ideas, and convergent thinking is important to identify the most useful or appropriate idea. And the next one is the processes of creative thinking. Now, in recent years, actually, more and more attention has been given to the way the human mind operates. So research has made it clear that thinking of new and unusual ideas involve more than a flash of insight. There are different stages of creative thinking, and these are also known as the processes of creative thinking, also known as the stages of problem solving. The starting point in creative process is the need to think or bring out something new which initiates the effort. Not everyone experiences this need, as one can be happy and contented in carrying out routine work. So the need for search of new ideas and solutions arises from sensing problems and gaps in information. The process of creative thinking begins with the preparation stage. That requires actually divergent thinking, because it requires one to understand the task or problem in hand, analyze the problem, and become aware of the background facts and related information. The process evokes curiosity and excitement to think more and more in different directions. Okay, that person tries to look at the task or problem from different angles or viewpoints. So divergent thinking plays important role in this stage. This is the preparation stage. Actually মানুহে যেতিয়া কিবা এটা প্ৰবলেম সলিউশনৰ কাৰণে চিন্তা কৰে, প্ৰবলেম সলিউশন কৰিব বিচাৰে, তেতিয়াহ'লে তেওঁ প্ৰবলেমটোৰ বিষয়ে বহুত ভাবিব লগা হয়, প্ৰবলেমটো এনালাইজ কৰিব লগা হয়, আৰু তাৰ লগত ৰিলেটেড থকা ফেক্টছ এণ্ড ইনফৰ্মেশ্যনছবিলাক কি কৰিব লগা হয়, সেইবিলাকৰ ওপৰত ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ দিব লগা হয়, আৰু তেতিয়াই কি কৰা হয়, ডাইভাৰ্জেণ্ট থিংকিঙৰ হেল্প লোৱা হয়। চ' ছেকেণ্ড ষ্টেজ ইজ ন'ন এজ দ্য ইনকিউবেশ্যন stage. So when the person actually is trying to generate alternative ideas and trying to view the problem or task from an unusual perspective, there may be a feeling of getting stuck. One may even get disgusted with failure and may leave the problem or the task for some time. So this is known as the incubation stage, second stage of problem solving or second stage of ক্ৰিয়েটিভ থিংকিং। তাৰমানে কি হয়, যেতিয়া মানুহে বেলেগ বেলেগ ধৰণৰ ৱেজবিলাক বিচাৰি থাকে, তেতিয়া মানুহে চলিউশ্যনটো বিচাৰি নাপায়, আনচাৰটো বিচাৰি উলিয়াব নোৱাৰে, ফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰেটেড হৈ যায় মানুহবিলাক। অলপ মানে আনচাৰটো কি হ'ব এনেকুৱা ভাবি ভাবি টেন্স যেতিয়া হৈ যায়, মানুহে তেতিয়া কি কৰে, প্ৰবলেমটোৰ পৰা আঁতৰি আহিব বিচাৰে, আৰু সেইটোৰ পৰা কনচিয়াছ লেভেলৰ পৰা মানুহে আঁতৰি আনকনচিয়াছ ষ্টেটলৈ গুচি যায়। চ' মানে প্ৰবলেমটোৰ পৰা অলপ সময় আঁতৰি আহিব বিচাৰে, প্ৰবলেমটো ছল্ভ কৰিব যেতিয়া নোৱাৰা হয়, তেতিয়া মানে প্ৰবলেমটোৰ পৰা অলপ আঁতৰি আহে। চ' দিছ ইজ ন'ন এজ দ্য ইনকিউবেশ্যন stage. So third is known as the illumination stage, and followed by incubation stage is the illumination stage. It is a kind of aha experience, or I have found it experience, the moment we normally associate with emergence of creative ideas. মানে যেতিয়া একচুৱেলি মানুহে ফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰেটেড হৈ যায়, তেতিয়া মানুহে প্ৰবলেমটোৰ পৰা যেতিয়া আঁতৰি আহে, আনকনচিয়াছ ষ্টেটত থাকোঁতে কেতিয়াবা হঠাতে মানুহৰ কি হয়, চলিউশ্যনটো মনলৈ আহে, মানুহৰ মনলৈ চলিউশ্যনছ আহে। আৰু তেতিয়া কি হয়, যদিও মানুহে কনচিয়াছলি সেই প্ৰবলেমটোৰ ওপৰত মানে কনচেনট্ৰেট কৰি নাথাকে, তথাপিতো মানুহে আনকনচিয়াছ ষ্টেটো মানুহে কেতিয়াবা মানে কি কৰিব পাৰে, সেই তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰবলেমৰ চলিউশ্যনছবিলাক বিচাৰি উলিয়াব পাৰে। মানে দে মে অকাৰ ষ্ট্ৰাইক when the person is doing something else. অ'কে, শুই থাকোঁতেও হ'ব পাৰে, বা বেলেগ কাম কৰি থাকোঁতে হ'ব পাৰে, বা গা ধুই থাকোঁতে হ'ব পাৰে, যিকোনো সময়ত কিবা এটা আইডিয়া মানুহৰ মনলৈ আহিব পাৰে। মানে সেই মানে প্ৰবলেমটোৰ পৰা আঁতৰি থাকোঁতেও মানুহৰ কেতিয়াবা তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আইডিয়াজ মনলৈ আহিব পাৰে। চ' দিছ ইজ ন'ন এজ দ্য ইলিমিনেশ্যন ষ্টেজ। মানুহে তেতিয়া খুব এক্সাইটেড হৈ যায়, আৰু মানুহৰ খুব বেছি ফূৰ্তি লাগে, আচলতে এটা ছেটিছফেকশ্যন এটা আহে। চ' দিছ ইজ ন'ন এজ দ্য ইলিমিনেশ্যন ষ্টেজ। So last is the stage of verification, when the worth or appropriateness of ideas or solutions are tested or judged. So convergent thinking plays important role in this stage. মানে কি হয়, verification stageত ideas বিলাকৰ মানে appropriateness বিলাক কি কৰা হয়, টেষ্ট কৰা হয়, জাজ কৰা হয়, whether it is appropriate or not, whether it is right or not, এইবিলাক বস্তু actually জাজ কৰা হয়, টেষ্ট কৰা হয়। So we need to select only one answer for in this case actually. So convergent thinking plays important role in this stage. Okay, so these are different stages of problem solving. First is known as the preparation stage, second is the incubation, third is the illumination, and fourth is the verification stage. Thank you.